Well, hello again. This is Pastor Mark coming to you from the newer and improving library here at Westminster Presbyterian Church after what's been a really difficult day for me, or week for me. But good morning. I want to talk to you about seeing God through a purified heart. The Make-A-Wish Foundation, they grant wishes to children and their families who have a terminal illness. And they can go wherever they want and do whatever they want. But if you could do anything, what would you do? If you had a last wish, what would it be? And where would you go? If you could see anything that you wanted to see, what would be your desire? Some people, it's a personal experience. It's playing basketball with LeBron James or golfing with Tiger Woods. And other people, it's a destination. I want to go to the Caribbean islands. In fact, that's what some of my family did on their last wish. Or to Disneyland, that was the other. But how many of you would say, I want to see God? That's my one desire. That's my greatest hope. Moses, in Exodus chapter 33, he pleaded for the presence of God. And then he asked for everything. He said, show me your glory. David, he was a man after God's own heart. He was pursuing it. He wanted to see it. He wanted to dwell with God. So is it your driving passion to know God, to see him, to know his heart? Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Pure in heart. I thought we were all pure in heart. What's wrong with our heart? Well, what is the heart? The heart isn't merely the place where we feel or where we fall in love. It is not the seat merely of our emotions. It's more than that. Other people say that the heart is the seat of the will. It's where we make decisions. It's the central processing unit, as it were, of our lives. And for others, it's the center of our thinking. It's our mind, really. But really, it's all of these. It's all of these things combined. The heart is the center of the personality. It is the core of your being, or it is your soul. So what is it? It is the thing that makes a man or woman or a child tick. It is their inmost being. And the text says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. But again, what's wrong with our hearts? Well, Jeremiah tells us the heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Who can understand it? In Matthew we read, for out of the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, sexual immorality, theft, false testimony, slander. In Romans 1 and 2, for although they knew God, they neither glorified him as God, nor gave thanks to him. But in their foolish thinking, they became futile, and their foolish hearts were darkened. And then, but because of your stubbornness and your unrepentant heart, you are storing up wrath against yourself for the day of God's wrath, when his righteous judgment will be revealed. Hearts are bad. Well, why are our hearts bad? What's our real trouble? Well, it's the environment around us. It's the people I hang around. It's the situation that I've been put in. You know, it's our environment. If we could just clean up the environment in which we live, then our hearts would be fine. But Adam and Eve, they had a perfect environment, and they still sinned. Some people say, well, it's education. If everyone was educated, if they could just think clearly, if they had more knowledge, then they would be all right. But Theodore Kaczynski, if you remember him, he was a Unabomber, and he was a genius. Saddam Hussein, he used to be a very intelligent man. In fact, there are many university professors who are malignant atheists, and they're on the warpath. They're intelligent, they have education, but their hearts are bad still. What about wealth? If everybody had money, if everybody could buy what they needed, then everything would be fine. If we had an equal distribution of great wealth, then everything would be fine. It's money that is a real problem. And we search and search and search for the problems that are outside of us, but that's not where the problem is. The problem isn't outside of us. The problem is within us. The problem is internal, not external. It is a matter of the heart. Let me tell you a story. I had a 1988 Aerostar minivan, and I love that. But it had rust on it. And so I took a drill sander and sort of went over it once lightly and then sprayed some rust inhibitor over it. And then I spray painted over it. So it looked good for a while, but I still had rust in my Aerostar. And so I was trying to sell the car, and my dad gave me a suggestion. He says, well, what color is it? I says, well, it's silver. He says, duct tape. Just duct tape over that baby. And so I did that too, and that didn't work. Still had rust on my Aerostar. So I decided for the first time in my life to try Bondo. And I didn't know what I was doing, and I tried, and gravity got me down. I don't want to give the details, but it didn't work well at all. So I still had rust on my Aerostar. And then I had the joy of taking it to the inspectors, the Connecticut State Safety Inspection, and it failed because of my rust. So I had to take it to professionals for $600. So what was my problem? It was the rust. Yeah, it was the rust. I didn't penetrate to the root of the problem. I didn't get to the heart. I didn't get all the way to the heart of the rust. So I didn't get it off completely the first time. I didn't reach the heart. See, God is after your heart. And if you have a purified heart, you will see God. But if your heart isn't pure, you won't pass inspection. And you won't pass inspection until the truth penetrates your heart.